Good morning, my dear friends. I hope you have heard the name of William Shakespeare. He is the greatest dramatist England has ever produced. He wrote both comedies and tragedies. As You Like It, The Merchant of Venice, Twelfth Night, Tempest are among his popular comedies. Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth and Othello are his most famous tragedies. Today let us discuss Shakespearean tragedy. The term Shakespearean tragedy does not imply that all the tragedies of Shakespeare are same. In fact, they are different from one another. The term is used to denote certain common features of the Shakespearean tragedies. According to A.C. Bradley, a great critic of Shakespearean tragedy, a Shakespearean tragedy is the story of exceptional suffering of a man leading to his death. The man who suffers extremely and dies at the end is a man who occupies high rank in the society. For example, Hamlet, the hero of the play Hamlet, is the Prince of Denmark. Othello, the hero of the play Othello, is a great general whose military skill is indispensable to the state of Venice. He is a brave soldier, steeled by experiences of battlefield, fought both at land and on sea. And this is what fascinates Desdemona so much. He suffers on a heroic scale and ultimately dies. But before his death, he redeems himself as a human being of nobility. Now, these heroes of Shakespeare, who possess great qualities of head and heart, meet with a tragic end. This is because they have certain tragic flaw. Tragic flaw or weakness in their character. They are great men, but they are not free from human frailty or human weakness. The inherent weakness in their character leads to their death. For example, Macbeth, the protagonist of the play Macbeth, has been a powerful general of Duncan, the king of Scotland. He was admired by the king very much, and he was made the Thane of Cawdor, but he was not satisfied with his position. He wanted to become the king himself, and therefore he killed Duncan, his king. As a result, he lost the happiness of his mind, and ultimately he lost his own life. Hamlet, the hero of the play Hamlet, is melancholic and hesitating in nature. He thinks too much but acts less. Therefore, he delays and delays. At the beginning of the play, he doubts that his father dies an unnatural death. Later, he becomes sure about the death of his father, and yet he hesitates to kill King Claudius, the villain. He delays and delays until it is too late. No doubt, he avenges the death of his father, but it is too late. Unlike Hamlet, Othello is a man of action. If Hamlet was very thoughtful, Othello was very active. He is over-credulous and quick in action. This is what makes him love Desdemona so much and this is what makes him trust Iago so completely. As a result, he becomes a victim of Iago and dies a tragic death. So, it is often said that in a Shakespearean tragedy, character is destiny. Indeed, as S.C. Sengupta, an Indian critic of Shakespearean tragedy, says, tragedy issues out of the action of the hero in a Shakespearean tragedy. But to say that character is destiny is to oversimplify the tragic vision of Shakespeare. Fate or destiny plays an important role in the tragic universe of Shakespeare. He introduces the wishes and vanquished ghost in Macbeth to suggest the relentless, merciless power that drives man to his doom. Shakespeare also allows chance or accident to influence the tragic action. The chance or accident helps to suggest the tragic fact that everything is not under the control of man. It is a chance that Desdemona drops the handkerchief at the most fatal moment, and it is equally a chance that the handkerchief was picked up by Emilia. Iago takes the handkerchief from Emilia, his wife, only to destroy the life of Desdemona and Othello. It is said that in a Shakespearean tragedy, there is a tragic bond between the tragic hero and his surroundings. If Hamlet were placed in Othello's situation, perhaps the tragedy might have been avoided. Shakespeare's tragic heroes grow in wisdom before their death. Their characters show certain progress, certain development. They die with a discovery or with a piece of knowledge at the end. For example, Iago poisons the mind of Othello, saying that Cassio has an illicit relation with Desdemona. He believes in Iago and feels that his world of love is lost. He demands from Desdemona the handkerchief with the faint hope that Iago might be deceiving him. But unfortunately, Desdemona disappoints him and he kills her. Soon after Desdemona's death, Othello comes to know the villainy of Iago. He learns the gigantic nature of his crime, and he realizes that he has thrown away the jewel of his own happiness. He has killed Desdemona, who has been faithful to him, who has been trustworthy, and who loves him so much. This twin tragedy of Desdemona and Othello gives rise to our emotions of pity and fear. Important function of tragedy as explained by Aristotle in his classic book, Poetics. The action of a Shakespearean tragedy resolves into two kinds of conflicts: external conflict and inner conflict. In Othello, the external conflict lies between Iago and Othello. In Hamlet, the external conflict lies between Hamlet on one side and Claudius and Laertes on the other side. However, the essence of a Shakespearean tragedy is the inner conflict, the struggle that the hero has to fight within his own mind. He is face to face with a situation that rouses in his mind doubts and desire. The conflicting emotions find expression in the soliloquies, which are very often highly philosophical. One such philosophical soliloquy is the one of Hamlet's soliloquy, beginning with "to be or not to be, that is the question." Here in this soliloquy, Hamlet debates over such universal, such elemental feelings as suffering, death, and uncertainty about what happens after man's death, and hence the universality of the play Hamlet. In fact, Shakespeare enjoys universal appeal even today because he has presented on the stage a man with all his emotions and passions, not with his problems. He depicts a man, a living, breathing human being with all his fevers and frets. The Shakespearean tragic heroes undergo a whole gamut of pain and suffering, and the stage is littered with death and bloodshed. At the end of the play Hamlet, we witness 2 or 3 murders on the stage. At the end of the play Othello, we see the twin deaths of Desdemona and Othello. So, it is often alleged that a Shakespearean tragedy gives an impression of waste. It leaves an impression of waste upon the mind of the reader. The heroes are great and noble, but once they commit an error, they are doomed forever. The tragedies overwhelm our mind with a painful sense of waste. This is to some extent true, but at the same time, we should remember that the sufferings of the heroes cannot extinguish their undying spirit. The heroes demonstrate a kind of indomitable spirit, a never say die spirit which fascinates us and which alleviates the painful sense of waste. Therefore, S.B. Charlton, another critic, he said that witnessing or reading the Shakespearean tragedies, we realize the great spiritual potentiality within man. We see on the stage nobility triumphing over tragedy through tragedy. Othello loses the grandeur of his character before the death of Desdemona, but he soon regains it after the death of Desdemona. He merely wants to kill his wife Desdemona only to save her from herself. He kills her not in hate but in love and honor. There is no anger in Othello. All he feels is a boundless sorrow. The Othello who sends the last message to Venice and dies upon a kiss is the Othello who stood before the senators of Venice. He realizes the gigantic nature of his error, and with this realization he dies. At the end, all that remains is a tragic vision, a sense of wonder at the vision of life that is so sad and so true. So, from this discussion, it's clear that Shakespearean tragedies is different from the classical tragedies and the tragedies which were written before the Elizabethan period. I hope you have got some ideas about Shakespearean tragedies. This is all. Thank you.